Oh, he refuses the milk.
Oh, it really gets in the sinuses. It just fills your whole head very quickly. I stand up to Hello and welcome to What's on the Fourth Floor. I'm your host, Carter Walford, along with my co-hosts,
Claire Weekly.
Jesse Osborne.
Jesse.
Yes.
You're back.
I am here.
Wow.
The listeners maybe know we gave him a bit of a shout out in the last episode, but this isn't your first podcast.
It's not.
But it will be the first our listeners get to hear from you.
Such a shame.
Such a shame. I really felt good about that last one. I'm little surprised you're back. You didn't just quit,
I was going to set up my own rival podcast.
But we convinced him to stay and give it one more shot.
One more shot.
And this is our last chance with Jesse. And so let's go ahead and get started with our last chance with What's With That, which I'll be taking over today, as usual, I think. But so I'm glad that Claire's here for this one, because well, first of all, let me just ask my co-hosts, do you wear pajamas?
Yes,
No.
but I do end up wearing them out in public.
So, Jesse, do you have a subset of clothing in your drawers that you wear when you go to sleep?
No.
No? Just whatever you're wearing during the day?
I sleep in my underwear.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I would call that a subset of clothes.
Oh, okay, I guess.
Okay, but you don't change.
I don't change.
Claire, I've seen you often in pajama pants.
Yeah. So basically what I do is I take a shower at night and then put on clothes, and then if I don't feel like changing in the morning, I don't.
Mm-hmm. And so this is where I guess we come to me and what I wear to sleep, and it is going to be... I don't know how everyone's going to react to this. It is what I'm currently wearing. I wore last night to sleep. What I'm wearing right now, including, for the listeners, I'm wearing a sort of button-up shirt and jeans. And this is also including my shoes and socks. I often wear my shoes to sleep.
You just went from weird to insane.
Yeah.
You lost
I mean,
me.
considering your sleep schedule, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's the issue is I don't so much sleep as crash for a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be comfortable.
That's not an issue, I just...
I have to be
The shoes?
very tired.
I do wear... I knew I was going to catch a bit of flack for this revelation on the podcast. But yeah, I just, whatever I'm wearing, it's whatever I'm wearing at the time, and then if I wake up, I'll, shower and change or what have you. But I do not take any time out of my day to switch into different clothes for sleeping. I don't know, it makes sense to me. It also has the added benefit of if I sleep in accidentally and I'm late for a class, I can just get up and walk out. I don't even have to stop to put shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
You're out, you're gone, out the door. I'm getting a bit of a head shake.
That just sounds so uncomfortable.
You get used to it, I actually think it's kind of nice now, you like settle in. It's like a cocoon of clothes.
Not in jeans.
Jeans and my button up.
I have definitely fallen asleep in my welding clothes before, which is a very similar outfit to what you're wearing. A button-up, jeans, and then my big welding boots, because they have like a good inch of rubber at the bottom, so you don't complete the circuit with your body.
And so you'll sleep with those on?
If I'm very tired. Otherwise, I can't fall asleep with anything on my feet.
I can only use this strategy while I'm living in Lincoln with sidewalks everywhere, because I wouldn't want to crawl into bed with muddy shoes on. That would be unfortunate. I also I wasn't planning on divulging this right now, but I'm going to say it now. My bed's lofted, and a lot of the times if I don't feel like climbing up the ladder, I will just sleep on the floor, right next to my chair. So I sort of just
an animal.
At 5 a.m, when I go to sleep, I'll often just sort of slump over onto the ground, and that's what I do for the night. I just lay there.
I'm completely against you.
Yeah.
Lost me
Is there
entirely.
carpet there?
There is carpet.
Okay.
And I keep a designated floor and blanket and pillow. The blanket is a mattress of sorts. It's not for being over me. You don't have to wear. You don't need a blanket at night if you're wearing all of your clothes for the day.
Oh my god!
Because you're in all your clothes and shoes. You don't get cold. So these are the advantages of the Carter lifestyle.
It's odd, but I mean, if it works.
It does work. And this sort of morning routine, I guess, leads to my next talking point, which is clocks. And I personally wish there was, and I could invent and put into my life a clock that would be randomly display a time that is within 7 minutes ahead of what the actual time is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that sort of, so if you look at a clock, have you ever done this where you put your clock ahead so you're like sort of motivated to go do things faster because you think it's farther ahead in time than it actually is? Jesse's never done this.
That sounds like such a crutch to actually being responsible about your time management. I'm just going to trick myself.
A lot of people do this.
Actually. So my clock in my car is anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes fast. My watch is currently about an hour and 2 minutes fast because I haven't changed it for daylight savings time yet.
But I did this. I kind of accidentally, because I was putting my clock that I have in my room, I had an hour for daylight savings time, and I hit the minute button like once or twice accidentally instead of the hour.
Okay.
So now it's a couple minutes ahead, and I found for a little bit that I was like getting to classes more on time, I guess, a bit earlier, and it was nice. But then I sort of got used to it, and I was like, oh, it's 2 minutes ahead. I have 2 more minutes. I don't have to leave as early. So now I want a clock that fluctuates, and I never know how fast it is, and so
just want something out of your control.
I always have to leave at the same time. So it really is like what you said earlier. I'm sort of tricking myself or fooling myself into getting things done early.
Whatever works.
But if I know that it's sort of arbitrary time forward, I'll ignore it. But if it's even more arbitrary, I guess, and is completely random. So, what do you think, Claire? Would you use such a clock device?
Yeah, probably.
I think Jesse's out on this.
I would just be more responsible with my time.
That's also a solution.
That just sounds,
but
the
that's
fact
a
that you're like
boring
tricking
solution.
yourself.
Yeah, you can only be so responsible, right? You have to work at being responsible. But if you put in these sort of systems in your life,
you don't have to work
without you thinking about it, subliminally make you more productive, that's even better, right? That's how
it wouldn't work for me.
Wouldn't work for you. When would you leave then?
When would I leave if the clock was fast?
If it was randomly fast, you'd have to leave at the same time.
I would have to leave at the same time.
At the sort of the least fast, and then you would always be early.
Yes.
Or on time.
Or on time. You'd never be late. Never be late again.
What happens if your brain just decided, oh, I have an idea. Let's subconsciously take the average.
Yeah, that was a bit of an issue. There was one episode that I think got cut. We cut out what did we each think the likelihood of there being more advanced civilizations in different universes. And this is coming back to the audiobook that I often talk about on the podcast, Algorithms to Live By. This has a name, and it's called, I forget now. It's the Kepler something, the Kepler theorem or what have you.
The Fermi paradox?
No, it's not the Fermi paradox.
No.
It's the heuristic that wherever
the Drake equation?
No, it's Kepler something.
Okay.
I'm telling you for certain that you make the assumption that you're nowhere special in the universe, that you're sort of halfway between everything around you. And so I guess you could take this Kepler heuristic to what time it is, that the time you're in right now is not special. It's the average of where your clock will randomly be. Anyways, we can move on to my third and final. These are both little things I had to get off my chest to my co-host. Now we can finally move on to this is also something I have to get off my chest. This is a pet peeve of me. I absolutely hate coins. If I get coins as change when I purchase for something in cash, I rarely purchase for things in cash, but sometimes I do, and sometimes I will get coins as change. And since I cannot legally throw them away, as is what I should do, place them in the garbage. I can't do that. That's illegal. So I often place them anywhere I can. Any counter that is near me, I will just leave a little pile of coins, and I will not come back for them. And I think this is a good solution.
All of the coins?
All of the coins. I'll sometimes keep quarters, but this is a very... this is sort of a side tangent. I hate the sound of coins jingling around in my pocket. This is not why I hate coins in general. This is just an added benefit of leaving them around. So I will only carry as many quarters as I have separate pockets on me. So if I have 2 back pockets and 2 side pockets, I can have 4 quarters on my person. 1 for each pocket. Even I think this is a little weird, but I do it anyways because I don't like the jingling. I'm getting some dirty glares.
Insane. Absolutely insane. I actually couldn't be
I just think it's really funny.
farther on the end of the spectrum from you on coins.
Wait,
I wish all our money was coins.
You wish all the money was coins?
All the money was coins.
I think that would be better than the system we have right now.
And maybe we break it down to quarters and then dollar coins, like $5 coins, stuff like
good.
that.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
No more
the reason
pennies,
I hate coins
no
is that they're
nickels.
too small.
I kind of like dimes.
Dimes are all right.
I cannot remember in my entire life ever spending a penny, nickel, or dime.
Really?
That's a fact.
That's because you
I never want them 'cause I leave them
hate them
around.
with a passion.
Yeah, but even before I sort of made this crusade against coins, I'd never spent a penny. Surely you've never spent a penny somewhere.
Yeah.
Unless you were like trying to get it so you didn't need change back. But that's just trying to avoid getting more coins.
No, I found a jar of pennies in my basement, and I counted all of those out. And one time I needed like $2 for something, and I just handed them.
Counted, and you paid for that somewhere?
I handed them 2 bags of pennies.
You're an awful person. Can you imagine being the cashier or what have you, and someone just gives you bags of pennies?
Not
I
ideal.
hate them. But anyways, I've sort of this. It's a matter of principle, really. Back in the day when pennies were made out of more copper than zinc, I think they're like 95% zinc now, or maybe 99% zinc. Anyways,
Zinc.
Zinc and copper.
Copper-coated
shell.
zinc.
Yeah.
There we go.
Back when they were like 50-50 copper zinc, people started melting them down once the value of copper outweighed the value of the penny, which is even true now.
Yeah.
The copper in pennies is worth more than a penny. The people started melting down the pennies for the copper to get it back, and then that should have been the end of the penny, right?
Yeah.
As soon as the market and the economy decides this thing is not valuable anymore, get rid of it.
Yeah, I've never been a real fan of pennies.
But
it should just be increments of 5. It would be
Mhm.
much easier. and
But that's
simpler.
not what
you're
happened.
okay with nickels?
Nickels are all right. It's
Nickels are even
that-
worse than pennies for the value thing. They're worth like 7 or something cents to make each nickel.
make them smaller.
Make them
I don't know why dimes are smaller than nickels.
That's also that is weird. Why are
Yeah.
dimes so little? Who made this choice? But anyways, it's the same reason I don't like the zoning sort of you can't build high in Lincoln. We're taking these things that naturally happen for a reason, like building tall buildings and melting down pennies that are worthless. These things happen because they are the best thing to happen. They're efficient uses of our resources, and we're putting in laws that limit the use
Capitalism
of
is
these.
an efficient use of our resources.
In these specific cases, I'm not gonna go. I have read a bit of Ayn Rand, but I wouldn't say I'm a zealot. I wonder how many people are gonna get that one. Anyways,
Rand?
yeah, Ayn Rand. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. I
I
always
was like,
mispronounce
that's
it.
how you pronounce it?
I've only ever read it.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard it said out loud, but I know it's supposed to be Ayn Rand.
Okay.
But anyways, the nickel is even worse as a value proposition, worth 7 or something cents per nickel. So I think I would go with quarter, $50, $1, and $2 coin. I think this would be a
And
good
$5
system.
coin.
$5 coin? I
Yeah.
can see that as well. Or a better alternative, no physical money. Just having a number tied to your.
I don't like that.
That's less
Your person.
satisfying.
That's less.
I don't like
I like
that.
playing with coins.
You like playing with coins. Do you
More
like-
than paper
Do you
money.
like
There's
spending
Legos.
money? Do you like when you have a transaction?
I'm a very frugal person. I don't spend. I don't
Okay.
spend money like ever.
So let's go back to me leaving a small pile of coins around.
Mhm.
I would pick those up.
You would pick those up, and that's why I think this is a good solution. Because if you agree with me in that these coins are worthless, it's fine. I should leave them wherever they are. Leave them in the street for all you care.
Mhm.
But if you disagree with me and you think coins are valuable, then by all means take the
I mean,
coins.
by definition, they have value.
You can have them. Or
By definition, they
Yeah,
are
you're
assigned
right.
value by
They are
society.
worth more time. Here's why I justify this, how I justify this to myself. And if some mysterious stranger came up to me and said, "Hey, I will pay you, 13 cents to carry around these little metal discs for the rest of the day," I would say, please leave. No, I'm not going to take you up on this proposition. And that's exactly what happens.
But you don't
with
have to carry them
coins.
around all day.
You do have to. Like, where do you put them?
I put them in the ashtray in my car.
I would count them, but you have to carry them until you get to your car. You never get coins in your car. You have to carry them at least to your car.
What if you're
at
a
a
drive-through
or something? Okay. Specifically in drive-through cases. In most cases, though, when you have coins, they're chained to you. It's like a ball and chain, these coins, and I don't want them. Free yourself from the shackles of your coins, listeners.
Would it be better if you had a specific, I don't know, a coin purse? Something to carry all your
always
coins?
Jingle around. But
okay, what if the coin purse, for some reason, every time you shut it, it created a
it's like a roll.
vacuum.
It's like rolls for each type of coin, so they don't move.
Yeah, this might not be objectively true, like if you do the math, but if I see a penny, nickel, or dime on the ground, I'm like, it is not worth my time to interact with this piece of metal.
I love picking those up.
It is.
Makes my day.
Well, I mean, if you actually have fun doing it, then fine. I guess it is worth your time.
I just take all the change and I go back to my house and I put it in a little jar, and then when the jar is full, I take it to the bank. I don't carry change around to spend it.
I can see the jar thing. Yeah, everyone always says the jar thing. But like in aggregate, all the time you spend putting these coins into this jar is not worth the $10 you get out of the jar at the end of the month when you take, or the end of the year maybe, to fill an entire jar when you go to the bank.
It's the experience that matters.
I guess for some people it might be the experience.
I
For
know
some people, having a small chat on the side of the road is an experience they want, but for some people it's not.
Get rid of the penny, get rid of the nickel. Dime is okay. Quarter is good.
You think you would keep the dime?
Yeah.
Jesse, if you could make a change to the United States coin system? Ha! A change.
Hilarious.
What would you change about it?
No pennies. No nickels. I wish dimes were nickel sized, and then it was just dimes, quarters, $50, dollars. And then you could have like a coin equivalent for all the bills we have now.
Yeah, I think I don't know
a $5 coin.
I haven't looked it up recently.
I don't think I'd want a $20 coin.
But I think.
Are you worried about losing it?
No, I think. Well, I mean, if you have a $20 coin, I don't know. It just seems weird. Like
it'd have to be big.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have these $5 coins in places in Europe, and they're like $half size.
Okay.
And they're just a nice, solid piece of metal, and you can tell that you have a $5 coin if it's in your pocket or something. Yeah. And I think that's really nice and convenient. But I think once you start getting into $20 coins, like, how big are they going to be? Are they going to be like...
Yeah, do we get to the point where after some denomination, some size of coin, we don't have any more coins and you should just pay with a debit card or something at this point? Or a credit card?
Or the way you could also do it, not make them different sizes, make them different colors some way. Like poker chips at a casino?
Okay, part of the reason that...
I'm on board with that. That's
part of the reason that all of our
I just want the
coins are a different size is so that people who are blind can feel the difference between all of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like, for example, the nickel is smooth along the edge, but then the quarter and the dime have ridges on the edge.
Wow.
And the reason for that is to tell the difference between similar sizes of coins.
That's awesome. I like that. I like knowing this now. Because I've obviously noticed that some coins are ridged, but some smart guy was like, we should look out for the blind people.
So the color system, we could, but why would we color plate a metal? That'd be weird.
I think that this is just going to replacing bills with coins. That I haven't done the math on this, but I've heard somewhere that due to like cotton prices and what have you, that the coins are actually more efficient in producing because they last a lot longer than bills. You know, a coin might last 30 years in circulation, whereas a bill is 1 or 2. And so if we want to maximize or minimize the budget, you listen here, congressman, if you're actually trying to balance the budget, no dollars, no small coins, get big coins.
And yes, I suppose the most efficient way would be digital. All digital currency eventually, but that's a long way off.
Yeah. Is it a long way off? It's not really. That's pretty much how I live right now.
I mean, Yeah, kind of. But
But
there are some good things about having physical currency, like garage sales.
yep.
You never know when technology is going to fail you.
Yeah.
If there are any coin or physical money lovers or haters in the audience, go ahead and leave your opinion in the comments. The internet is the best place for your opinions. And with that, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in a few seconds with In the News. And we're back with our next segment in the news, this time hosted by our very own Jesse.
All right, so NASA has a space probe called the New Horizon. They shot it out. It's no people on it. It's just a probe. They shot it out into deep space to explore our solar systems more. And they're planning to fly by a little dwarf planet out in the Kuiper Belt on New Year's Day, 2019. And currently they're calling the planet a string of numbers, 2014, which is when they discovered it, MU69. But they are offering it to the public to offer possible names for the planet.
Okay.
This is open right now,
this
by the
is,
way. If any of the viewers...
Is there a deadline for this?
It's December 1st of this year, I believe.
And so anyway, I guess we'll link a website, I presume, where you can offer suggestions on what to name this.
Yes, so I was going to ask both of you your best name for a planet. I'll read you some of the ones that have already been...
Is it an actual planet or just an object?
It's not a... It's a sort of a dwarf planet.
Dwarf planet?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a like a dozen name submissions. I assume they only keep the serious ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how many have actually been submitted.
We're making assumptions here.
We're not going to get Planet-y McPlanet Face or something like that.
No, there's Olaf, the Norse god. There's some other Norse mythology ones. There's Año Nuevo, New Year in Spanish.
Okay. That makes sense.
Just a bunch of random mythological names, that sort of thing.
The only dwarf planet I know the name of off the top of my head is Pluto. And so I'm going to stick with that naming theme and name this new planet Goofy. That's where they got Pluto, right? It's from the Mickey Mouse canon.
Okay, on that note, so the last few planets in our solar system, we had a conversation about this at some point. There's Uranus, and then there's Neptune, and then there used to be Pluto. And if you look at the periodic table, there's uranium, and then there's neptunium, and then there's plutonium.
I see a pattern.
And so the next element after plutonium, well, the next two are americium and curium. And if I don't want to sound totally...
America-centric.
Yeah.
You probably can't name this new planet America.
Yeah. Let's go with Curie.
Wouldn't go over well.
Like Curie or something.
Curie?
Yeah.
Curie for... Curium for Madame... Or Marie Curie.
Yes.
One of the two women Nobel Prize winners in
That's
physics.
Claire's pick. Carter.
Yeah, I had Goofy.
Goofy? You're going to stick with Goofy?
I'm sticking with Goofy. I think I got sound logic on it.
Oh, that's such a shame.
No.
The Curie, I guess this is only a UNL current topic, but it goes nicely with the Women Physical Sciences Convention that is currently
this weekend
ongoing here at UNL. So I'm in the spirit. I like Claire's idea more than mine.
Yay.
All right, and the next topic, a little along the same lines, but just a collection of the strangest planets that NASA has observed in the universe. They come up with some nice little names for the things.
For the weird ones? Not just strings of numbers and letters?
Okay.
So there's one planet they're describing a Reigns of Terror.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
So it rains. It has extremely high wind speeds around the planet, and it blows particles that they described as glass-like. So it rains. It blows glass sideways at you.
Blows shards of glass around.
So it's like a sand blaster, but that's its weather pattern.
That is.
And the winds go up to 5,400 miles per hour. So
that's pretty metal.
It's
just shards of glass whipping around all over the place. How large are these particles on average? Do we have that information at our disposal? I'm imagining just like massive, like, at winter, you see really big icicles sometimes. I'm imagining massive shards of glass, like several feet long, and just skewering people.
It is not known, but
it is not known.
They were willing to offer that much.
Okay.
That might be not a great habitable place for human beings.
They don't
down
get
the
that
line.
big. Maybe like grains of sand type size.
I
but
hope so.
5,400 miles per hour is what you
5,400 miles per hour, which is 2 kilometers per second if you want to use the metric system. I know some of our fans out there international, they might not understand the units.
That's intense.
That's intense.
I have a bit of a problem with the Martian movie. I don't know if I've brought this up on the podcast.
Okay, which problem?
It is that the atmosphere on Mars is not thick enough to have wind speeds that would blow over a spacecraft.
Yeah.
Even with the sand being included.
So you're knocking like a specific detail that happened in the movie?
Yeah, this is it's a pretty good movie overall, but this specific detail of they say the wind speed in the movie, it's like a couple hundred miles per hour.
Yeah.
And if you do the math of how thick the atmosphere is, even if you add in like sand behaving like atmosphere particles, I didn't personally, but I looked up someone else several other people who had done the math, and it doesn't work out. It's like a light breeze. It's like 30 miles per hour equivalent on Earth.
Oh, okay.
So, maybe not. It was maybe more like 80, but that still wouldn't blow over a spaceship on Earth. Unless NASA was really lowering the budget and they were making their spaceships in the Martian universe. They're making them out of, popsicle sticks and glue.
I think that'll survive out in the hostility of space.
But on this new planet, if they set the Martian round 2 on... Do they have a name for the planet, or is...
It's another string of numbers.
Another string of...
HD 189733 lowercase b.
If the Martian sequel is set there...
It's a lowercase b.
Okay.
You can go ahead and have screenwriters...
As opposed to the uppercase b.
Exactly.
Screenwriters can go ahead and have the spaceship topple over. I'd be okay with that.
So unfortunately, the name... You cannot vote on the name for this planet.
Which is that is a shame.
That's unfortunate.
It's a shame. All right, next one up.
We have another weird
planet.
object.
Extremely close to the star that it orbits around, and it's about 2 times the size of Jupiter. This planet.
That is large. That is almost a star in its
large.
own.
Well, almost. Wouldn't Jupiter have to be 10 times larger?
Yeah.
So
it's less than an order of a magnitude.
Okay, less than an order of magnitude.
Fair enough. That
star
works out mathematically.
That's the error bars on this.
So it's close enough to its star that the star is pulling on it so much that the planet is egg-shaped. Okay. It is not a round sphere.
You hear of this happening to like moons and whatnot, but
like the moons of Jupiter.
Yeah, this is the only planet I've heard of being
Jupiter-sized.
And they estimate that relatively soon, on the astronomical scale, 10 million years, the planet will be eaten up by its star.
Okay.
That
is relatively soon.
That's relatively soon. Unfortunately, we don't get to watch these things happen if we predict them. You can only...
Wait, how far away is it?
So I guess, are you getting at that it might have already happened, technically?
That's what I'm getting at.
Not sure, but my guess is it's probably.
Do you want to explain how we look into the past?
So basically, whenever you're observing any astronomical thing, there's a time delay between what's actually happening and what you see happening, because what we see happening has to do with light, and therefore the speed of light. So, for example, our star is about 8 light minutes away from us. So anything that happens on the surface of the star, it takes 8 minutes for us to see that. But then you go further out, into things that are several light years away, or basically the time light can travel in a year.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
so
the distance.
the distance, not the time. That wouldn't, the distance light can travel in a year. So basically, if something happens 5 light years away, it'll take us 5 years to see the thing that happened that long ago. So if this star is more than 10 million light years away,
right, it would have already happened, but we won't know about
happened.
it until 10 million years
I
from
use
now.
the analogy light's sort of like the Pony Express. If something happens in Philadelphia, it takes a while for us to hear about it in Virginia.
Yeah.
Beautiful analogy.
So when we look out into the sky and we look at things very far away, we're sort of looking into the past.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Claire was Claire was asking how far away it is, because it might have already been eaten by the star.
We just
objectively,
wouldn't know.
but we wouldn't know yet if it's more than 10 million light years away, which would be exciting. I'd wonder, because, the Earth is going to be eaten by the sun eventually.
Eventually.
I wonder how long this process is from, like, the sun touching, one side of the Earth to completely sort of encompassing it.
What do you define as touching? Like the corona or the sun?
Yeah, the corona.
Okay.
I want to say. That makes the most sense.
Okay. I think as soon as...
Does it just get, like, gobbled up in a bite? It's like, it takes a minute or something.
I'm wondering. Okay, so the surface of the sun is hot enough to turn a lot of things into a plasma.
Yes.
Instantly.
Agreed.
So I'm wondering if it just... ripped the matter off.
If it just sort of melts
as it would, as it
gets
just
too
slowly
close.
melts it, and the momentum, because of the frictional contact, the Earth wouldn't be able to maintain enough momentum to keep the orbit going.
I can see that as well. Well,
I'm not sure if that's how that works.
Scientists get on that, counteracting immortality technology, the counteracting aging, so I can be here and watch it happen.
Sure.
My curiosity will not be sated until I can live forever and see everything.
Perfectly reasonable.
Do you need to be moisturized?
Yes, in facts and knowledge. I roll around in books when I get back to my room.
Okay.
I need it to moisturize. Do we have another planet?
We have another planet. Actually, just how you guys were mentioning, the Earth will eventually be swallowed up by the sun.
It's true.
NASA has found a planet that was already swallowed up by its star, but the star is now dead, and the planet still exists.
What a trooper.
What?
It's Kepler 70b, and it's the hottest known planet. The surface temperature up to 12,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Which, if you're not a fan of
Hotter
Fahrenheit,
than
you listeners, rather,
record.
it's 6,800 Celsius.
Can we get that in Kelvin? About 6,800.
Don't put me on the spot. So, as they've observed it, it used to be a planet about the size of Jupiter, but it gets swallowed up by the star. For some reason, it doesn't get completely destroyed. The star ends up contracting and dying off. And the planet's still there, but it's smaller than Earth now. And it's extremely hot surface.
So this might be like the sort of, a lot of gas giants have terrestrial cores in the center of them, we assume.
So they described it as
we've never been there to look.
Right.
They described it as a Freddy Krueger-like burnt survivor.
Oh, nice. Someone got creative
So
on
it's sort of the evil planet. Haunts your nightmares.
That's exciting. The star ate it up and spat it back out. You'd be the real tough guy of planets after that.
And one more plug, if you want to live on Kepler 70b, a year takes about 5 hours.
Nice. So, if you are
If
not
you-
old enough
If
to
you
drive
want to
or
be
something
older,
right now.
you just want to age very quickly.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't actually age any faster. You'd just rack up years.
I think after the first few people did that, they'd have to change some things.
Change the laws a bit.
Specify Earth,
Earth
years.
years.
Oh, that leads to a little bit of another thing. So if people started living on Mars, we'd have to change our laws to specify Earth years for some things.
We would. I wonder if they could have different laws on Mars, though.
They
Because
could.
people colonized on Mars, I would assume.
Uh-huh.
It would be very inefficient to have them use Earth law.
Right.
Because, who's going to enforce it? People on Earth?
Not really.
So it makes the most sense. We to have them be sort of their own independent state, if you will. There's a lot of people. There's going to be, we've talked about, I don't know if it's actually on a podcast, but we've talked about alien biology, sort of xenobiology being something that people will study. There will be sort of alien or xenopolitics and law.
You realize that space law is a major here.
Space law is already a major here?
Yeah, space law is a major here.
There aren't that many space laws. You could bang out that major in a couple hours, surely.
That's not how that works.
I'm sure the majors would appreciate hearing you say that.
Maybe you have to learn a lot about Earth law first, and then you learn the space laws. But
yeah, that is.
This will be an even bigger thing. There will be people who study specifically, sort of. I couldn't think of a word of them because there's geopolitical events now.
Right.
It would be sort of astropolitical events.
There we go. I'm on board with that.
I'd be on board. Do we have another planet?
This one they're calling the zombie worlds.
Oh boy!
Now, obviously, that's not the technical name. The technical name is a stream of numbers and letters.
Again.
But use your imagination on that one.
Hardly important. It's a solar system where the star has beams of radiation spinning around it.
Okay. So, like, trapped by its gravity, I guess?
Yes.
And it's radiation, you mean... Well, I guess not you, but did they mean? Is it ionized gas, like cosmic ray style, or is it just gamma rays? Or I guess, because radiation, off the top of my head, there's alpha particles,
right?
Beta particles, which are, I think, beta, is it 2 neutrons, 2 protons, or is that alpha? I don't remember. I think it's alpha is 2 protons, 2 neutrons. So when you say the word radiation, you can mean a cluster of just these very specific particles. So I assume, I can't imagine gamma rays, like light waves, being trapped in any small orbit around a star.
Right.
So I would assume that it's, through our deduction of physics,
I think
it is some sort
the
of
alpha particle is 2 protons, 2 neutrons.
2 protons, 2 neutrons,
Yeah.
and a beta particle is, I want to say, it's 1 something. It's a positron or something. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, it's like...
But the nuances don't matter that much.
Right.
It is a cluster of particles orbiting this planet.
And there's planets orbiting around this star that gives off this radiation. And obviously nothing can live in this radiation as far as we know.
As far as we know.
You as a human wouldn't fare too well.
Probably not.
But there's a lot of things that humans wouldn't fare too well in. Basically anything but this.
Yeah, anything but where you are right now. You'd be pretty messed up in not too long. If there are shards of glass shooting at you, if you're in a star, you probably wouldn't do too well.
No, that doesn't seem to work.
So that brought me to the thought that space is pretty inhospitable for humans.
Yeah, it's not great. You can,
We should just land on the sun at night. That'd definitely work. That's cool.
Oh. Never gets old.
Yep, then it's fine. You're safe.
Sneak attack the sun.
Sneak attack. It's not a spear or anything. We were talking about earlier, this came up just between you and me, Claire, that you could survive for like 10 or 15 seconds in empty space.
Right.
So, it's not the worst place to live. You wouldn't survive 10 or 15 seconds on the sun.
No.
You would not.
So, just, the vacuum is not the worst place to be.
No. But there's a lot of horrible ways to die.
Yeah, in space, in the universe. Most of it is not great.
No.
To be standing in.
Right, so that brought me to the question, how likely do you guys think it is that we'll actually find some planets that are good for us? Of course, there's Mars, but...
Yeah.
Is it just finding the planets or being able to get to them? Because definitely we'll find something.
Yeah,
you think we'll find something for sure?
Yeah, we'll find something for sure. Just, it's whether or not we can actually get to it.
I guess we'll find something of it. If we keep looking, forever, we're bound to find one eventually.
Look at the time frame that we've been looking in. Just, what?
Oh, yeah.
50 years?
Well, I mean, are you counting, like, Galileo?
Well, I mean... Look at the time we've been looking at planets outside our solar system.
Very seriously. It hasn't been very long. We've already found all these cool ones. So, give it another couple hundred years.
And with advances in technology,
we'll find them.
We don't even know what we're getting.
Gotta catch them all.
No.
The planets. But as far as going to, I think it is more likely that we terraform a close planet, then go to a planet that is very far away that is already conducive to life.
Right.
So you're going full planet makeover.
Yeah, I think that would be easier than going 100 light years away, or probably way more than that, to a planet that is already nice and lovely and has water and whatnot.
And so are you a Team Mars fan?
Yeah, I'm completely on board. You know, let's get Extreme Home Makeover team on it. We'll move a bus in front of Mars. Would I terraform Mars?
Would you go to Mars?
I'd go to Mars. Yeah, I think we've.
Oh yeah.
I'd definitely go to Mars.
You can never come back.
I wouldn't come back as long as I can get. It can be slow, but I want some form of internet connection. Beam me.
That's your condition?
My information. I need it.
So, like, half an hour both ways?
Yeah, that'd be fine. I mean, they could get on, like, a predictive system where it's like, we think we know what you're going to want in half an hour. So, here's your YouTube page ahead of time.
Okay.
On the cutting edge of humanity.
Yeah.
Carter still needs internet.
I know if any of our listeners on Mars, all they would need is to be up to date on what's on the 4th floor.
Of course.
And with that, we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
We'll be back in a few seconds with
Hot sauce.
a bit of a game. Yeah, this is a new one.
With our trivia segment. You guys are in for a real treat. Here's what we're doing. So, this trivia segment is over hot things. So, what I have done is I've brought several different types of hot sauce for the contestants to try. So, how this is going to work...
We're in for a bit of a treat, too.
...is every time they get a question wrong, they have to try a different type of hot sauce. And if they get a question right, I have to try a different type of hot sauce. And whoever drinks their milk first is the one that loses.
The last man standing wins.
Basically. So I'm going to start out by asking questions, and if you get it wrong, you have to eat a spicy chip. And
which hot sauce are we doing first?
We're going with the chili paste first. That's the red one. Our 3 hot sauces today are chili paste, mango habanero sauce, and some spicy mustard, which our sound engineer tells us is definitely spicy. Okay, so first question is for Carter.
Oh boy.
There's this thing called Scoville heat units, which is basically how hot a pepper is, or
I'm familiar
anything
with the Scoville heat unit.
Right. So, what pepper is rated at 0 Scoville heat units?
Oh, I happen to know this off the top of my head. It is the bell pepper.
Correct.
So
I am eating the chili paste.
Too easy.
Down the hole for the host. You actually, these are your hot sauces, so you're just like nonchalant. I eat these every day.
Yeah, somewhat.
All right. Bit rigged against myself and Jesse.
That's a bit more than I usually put on the chip.
Yeah, we did load up these chips with
Fortunately for all you.
Usually, Jesse and myself are on opposite sides of the fence, but now I feel like a bit of camaraderie between us. We're just trying to make Claire eat all the hot sauce.
There is none.
There's none. You don't reciprocate.
I'm just rooting for both of you to lose.
That's also fair.
Like Highlander, there can only be one.
Okay. What year did Scoville come up with?
Oh, I get the hard one. I don't know.
You've got like a 1 in 2000 if you want to guess.
I'll give you a hint, and that is it's sometime in the 1900s.
Oh, there you go. Narrowed down to a 1% chance. Easy.
1917.
No, you are close though. It's 1912.
Oh, I was expecting much later.
Hurts.
So we're still on the
red
chili paste?
We are still on the red chili paste.
All right, I dodged this one. I hope I dodged the spicy mustard, because our preliminary trials showed that is the worst. How you doing? Can you walk us through what you're experiencing right now?
Oh, it's no big deal. I'm totally fine, Carter.
You're fine?
Okay.
Absolutely. I am not dying inside or anything.
This hot sauce, by the way, is just ground up chilies. That is it.
Mm.
Okay. The next.
It's lingering a bit.
It's lingering a little bit. Okay, Carter. What is the chemical that makes peppers hot?
Oh man, I am on a roll. I know this one. It is capsaicin.
Oh my
You
god.
are
This is
correct.
rigged.
Oh. Oh no.
This is
Dodging 'em. Are we
collusion.
on round 2? Is
No,
this,
we're
in
we're
Chili's?
still on the chili sauce. Oh.
This is whenever me and my roommates, we often order Papa John's pizza, a lot. We have a lot of pizza boxes stacked up in the corner of our room, and Papa John's will give you a little jalapeno in the box with it, and they always steer very clear of the jalapeno. But I'll eat it. I'll take a bite of the jalapeno. It's not bad. So I'm okay with spicy food, but I'm still glad I haven't had to eat one of these.
Is it a raw jalapeno?
Yeah.
I don't like those very much.
Next question.
Here we go.
Okay, what is the hottest pepper in the world? And we are on the mango habanero sauce round.
We're in round 2.
Yeah, we are in round 2.
I believe it is the ghost pepper.
No,
Oh.
it's the Carolina Reaper.
I would have guessed ghost pepper as well. It changes. The scientists, the pepper scientists, are always in their labs.
It is
tinkering
currently it's
make
the
the
orange
hottest.
one.
Of hot. Round 2 for Jesse. How are you faring? Is this better or worse than the chili?
It's mango-y.
It's mango-y.
It's
If
mango
that's a word.
habanero hot sauce.
It is now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the chili one was worse, actually.
All right.
I'm totally fine, though.
This is the middle round. Easy.
This is the middle round.
I've had a pretty easy go of it so far. So
Carter is just he studied for this. This is cheating.
I was ready. I didn't want to eat the hot
Okay.
sauces.
About how many Scoville heat units is standard U.S. grade pepper spray?
I'm going to guess a nice round number of 1 trillion.
No, you are incorrect. Anything from 2 million to 5.3
I was
million
very far off.
would have been
Several
correct.
orders of magnitude.
I knew the heat units got to absurdly large numbers, but like how absurdly large? Because like 1 million is pretty big,
Mm-hmm.
but 1 trillion was way off.
Yeah.
And so we're on this
Yeah, the orange
delicious mango sauce.
one. Mm-hmm.
It's fruity initially,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's not so fruity.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you have a look on your face, Carter.
I just took a big like breath in through my nose, and like you feel the spice.
Okay.
It's always swallowing is the worst with spicy things. It's not that bad like on your tongue, but then once it gets in your throat,
Mm-hmm.
no fun.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't that bad. I've had worse.
Okay. Next question. How hot, in terms of Scoville heat units, is pure capsaicin, which is the chemical that makes it hot?
Jesse is thinking very hard right now.
10 million.
No, it is in the range of 15 to 16 million.
Oh.
Scoville
Damn
heat
it.
units.
Close.
I knew it had to
We
be
are-
hotter than the thing that Carter was just
Yep.
asked
Yes, we are still on
That
the
was
orange one.
that was clever deduction. You didn't quite get there though.
Nope,
I
Thank
guess
you,
it
you
was
are
induction.
close.
For those of you that are sticklers for the difference.
Uh-huh.
This is the mango again?
Yeah, that's the mango again.
Are you having fun?
about. Totally fine.
I think
yeah.
I've had this is a good segment. We could do this.
Okay.
Sweating profusely.
Okay.
That's fine.
Mhm. Okay, Carter, you're back again.
Are we on still round 2?
No, we are on round
Into
3.
the spicy mustard. This
yeah,
is the
into
one
the spicy mustard round.
that I really want to come in the
Uh-huh.
clutch. I don't want to eat this.
Okay. How many Scoville heat units is a jalapeno pepper?
Oh my goodness. I have looked at scales of these things before and seen like
Mm-hmm.
they always progress sort of logarithmically. At the top end is way bigger than the bottom.
Okay.
And a jalapeno seems to be towards the middle a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with 1,000 Scoville heat units.
You're incorrect.
Oh,
It
I thought when you
is-
sighed I'd be correct. But
no.
that's not the case.
That would be anywhere from 2,500 to 8,000
I was
Scoville
really
heat units.
close.
So now you have to try the spicy mustard.
All right, I'm gonna go mustard down on the tongue this time.
Okay.
I'm just really gonna go for it. I'm ready. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, Carter's having an adverse reaction to this.
There's milk.
Oh, he refuses the milk.
Oh, it really gets in the sinuses. It just fills your whole head very quickly.
Oh.
Our sound engineer did mention that the spice goes away pretty fast, so, I'm looking forward to that when it happens. It's not right now. Oh, I'm good. My eyes are watering. This is...
To be fair, Carter, I was going to guess 8,500, so I would have been on the outside, on the
would have
other
been,
end of it.
Just barely off.
Just barely.
Both times. Oh, my nose is a bit runny.
Surely I'll get an easy one this time, though.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. In terms of Scoville heat units, how hot is the serrano pepper?
There are like little pockets of the mustard still in my mouth. I discover them every once in a while.
Those are little treats. So you can
Comes back.
keep it going with you.
Yep.
What's the pepper?
The serrano pepper.
10,000.
You are correct.
Oh!
It is anywhere from 10,000 to 23,000 Scoville heat
There you
units.
go.
And now,
Just
I have
clipping it.
to. I'm gonna try the sandwich approach.
Ooh,
Oh, please no.
here we go.
I'm disappointed that someone is going to get off. I guess there's more questions, but if someone gets off without eating the spicy mustard, I'll be a little disappointed.
I mean, at this point, it's only me.
Claire is sitting very steadfast, just sort of looking at the ceiling. Hold your ground, Claire. You'll be all right. It does. It just washes over you. Ethan ate one earlier, and he didn't have much of a reaction. I think he didn't have very much. Because
oh my.
it is...
Nah, I bet it's fine.
It's not pleasant. I've never eaten horseradish recreationally, but I imagine it's a lot like...
Only medicinally?
Yeah, only medicinally. It's a lot like what horseradish is, but worse. Has anyone ever eaten horseradish?
I have.
Is this worse?
If you eat the same quantities, I'd say this is worse. When I mixed this up, I did not put very much water in it.
Yeah, because it came in a can, like dehydrated and concentrated.
Dehydrated and it's a powder.
Just eat the powder.
Yeah, that's...
Lightning round.
I initially had that thought, but then I was like, I don't want to.
Okay. Next one is for you, Carter.
I'm ready.
How hot is the pepperoncini?
Pepperoncini. I am imagining we're just going up from we'd bell earlier, jalapeno up to serrano, which was 20,000, I think. I can't even remember what you answered.
23,000.
Thank you.
Oh, can't tell him.
I'm going to guess 150,000 Scoville heat units.
150,000 Scoville
Was
heat
I way
units.
off? By your face, I'm reading that I was way off.
Yeah, it is 100 to 500.
Period?
Yes.
Oh my god, you juked me. I thought we were going up. I was following the trend.
No.
Carter. That was...
All right. We have pre-prepared little chips, and we have 2 of each.
Yeah.
So this is going to be fast. I immediately get another little treat.
I heard it's better the second time around.
I went mustard up that time. I feel it like in the back of my head, which is insane. It's like in my brain.
Carter is dying.
You have to breathe through your mouth, otherwise it just fills every part of your head.
That's what you want. You want the full experience.
I've gotten the full experience a couple times now, so I think I can take a break on it. But it's good now. It does go away once you've sort of swallowed and it's not in your mouth anymore.
Life will be okay.
Life will be okay. All right, it was bad. I was going to say that wasn't so bad. It was pretty bad, but we're still here.
Okay.
The things we do for our
viewers.
For our listeners, viewers.
And now it's me that's doing it. Okay. How hot in terms of Scoville heat units is the ghost pepper.
Which was your guess for hottest earlier, if you remember. The ghost pepper is your rival at this point.
Thank you, Carter.
It all comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I will go with 100,000. I will steal Carter's answer from earlier for a different question. 100,000.
100,000 Scoville heat units.
Yes.
You are incorrect.
Yes,
Damn it.
good. I am happy.
What's the range?
It's from about 900,000 to 1 million.
I would have guessed 1 million.
Underguessed.
But
you would have guessed a million?
I would have guessed exactly 1 million, and I'm disappointed I didn't get this question now. But I'm
I'm
excited
okay
to see
with
Jesse eat one. So this
I
isn't the
think
worst outcome.
No reaction. Absolutely fine.
Right, Jesse, sure.
But I know on the inside, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding fast pretty far.
Horseradish taste. All right. Oh.
You try to just swallow it, but then you like breathe through your nose or something, and it's just everywhere in your whole face.
Mild heat.
It's not spiciness
I
as
had a
much as the
slight
other ones.
explosion. That's what the
just
listeners probably heard.
It
but,
just stings your,
it's fine
your face
now.
and mouth. But we're alive. Everyone made it.
Yes, we are
We
alive.
expanded
and
our
we
knowledge of all things spicy,
Mm-hmm.
both in sort of data and in experience.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've grown as people here today.
Yes. Big growth today.
And if that's
That is the end of the rounds, unless you want to eat all of the hot sauces you didn't eat before.
Maybe later.
Okay.
With that's our time.
That is
You've
our
been
time.
listening to What's on the Fourth Floor. As always, leave us your comments, suggestions, questions, opinions, anything you want in the comments bar below, and we're really excited to hear your feedback. You've been listening to What's on the Fourth Floor, but what is on the fourth floor? It's a pepper farm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pepper
All
farm.
of
They're
our
making
deserted
hotter and hotter
podcasts.
peppers.
Mm-hmm. They're all of the souls of our dead podcasts are on the
Yes.
fourth floor.
Oh.
But they're up there. Professor Gay and the like are up there tinkering with the peppers. Hello? If you're still here, it's because you're looking for more. If that's the case, check us out on Facebook at What's on the Fourth Floor and Twitter at OnFloor4. Again, that's Facebook, What's on the Fourth Floor, Twitter at OnFloor4. That's at OnFloor, the number 4.